Hello there and welcome along. The Gardener Ben here. Today I'm going to be talking to you about this old rose. This is a Gallica Rose, Cardinal de Richelieu. This is an absolutely stunning once flowering Gallica Rose, which is going to reach around 4.5 to 5 feet tall and around 4.5 to 5 feet wide. It's a large and substantial shrub, suitable for growing in a wide range of locations, including on a poor soil. So if you have somewhere in the garden where the soil is not particularly great, maybe it's full of builder's rubble, maybe it's very free draining and sandy and drains away very well, this particular rose is going to thrive in full sun and partial shade and will take a multitude of aspects in the garden. This is an old rose dating back to 1847 and is still widely available today. Fallen a little bit out of fashion because, as I say, the Gallica roses, this particular one actually flowers only once in the season, producing a mass of these beautiful, dark, rich, magenta, purple, pink flowers all the way through the month of June and into the beginning part of July. The foliage on this one is really rather lovely. Deeply textured and highly crinkled. It has a sort of coarse, leathery feel to it. Very, very tough. Almost gunmetal grey in its colour. It has a silver grey sheen to it, which comes together with these, these dark purple, magenta flowers. Really, really lovely. Each one has this lovely sort of silver grey edge to them, which comes together with the foliage, bringing together a really, really nice package, which I like. This particular rose has a really, really low thorn count, making it absolutely perfect for growing in a high traffic area or for forming as a low boundary hedge or something that you want to place in a high traffic area where people are going to brush past it. It does have thorns, but they're more of a mossing than they are of an actual thorn count. They're tiny, hair-like. I'm going to pick one of these stems and show it to you so you can actually get to gist with it. Right, let's cut this one here. As you can see, very, very tiny thorns, very, very tiny barbs. They're going to cause you no harm whatsoever. They don't have the ability to actually punch you through the skin. So it's really easy to handle and very, very nice to cut. This particular plant, I say, reaching around 4.5 to 5 feet tall and around 4.5 to 5 feet wide. The flowers, I've actually tucked this stem out the way. You're going to probably laugh at me, but I tucked it out my way so it wasn't popping around in my face. The flowers are actually born well above the actual plant itself. So they come up above the compact foliage, which is held lower towards the ground. As I say, flowers produced in June and into the first week of July. It's absolutely adorable. Even in its bud form, they're really, really lovely and tight. High levels. They very much resemble that of a peony, actually, before they open. Bulbous in their shape. They split open with small amounts of white to the outside of the covering just as it erupts open. This sort of lovely mottling effect, deep purple, magenta pink, and a slight amount of white flushing to the very, very base. They then open in large clusters, 5, 6, 7s, 8s, 9s, 10s, all held on lovely upright stems, making it absolutely perfect for cutting and bringing into the house. Full disclosure, it's not going to last very long as a cut flower. It's going to shatter really quite quickly, only lasting 2 or 3 days in a vase, but please do enjoy it while it produces its flowers. Another nice attribute as well, as you work down the stems, there's a small amount of purpling and a little bit of a burgundy tinge to the stems. So altogether, if this was a modern rose, a brand new rose, and not an old rose, I'd be talking about the fact it's a combination rose, bringing together lots and lots of factors. It really is very, very pretty with a wonderful fragrance to boot. Right in the middle of the flower, say deeply ruffled rows and rows of petals, classed as a semi-double bloom. This one has a really wonderful fragrance. It's a lovely old rose fragrance, mixing warm, spicy tones like cardamom and turmeric with upper floral notes of citrus and lemon. It really, really is lovely. I'm going to be awarding this one a 6 out of 10 for fragrance rating. This particular one has a low thorn count, I say, which makes it perfect for growing in high traffic areas. It is a little bit susceptible to pests and diseases, unfortunately. It does suffer with a little bit of black spot. It does suffer with a little bit of mould. Do make sure that you mulch it deeply, pay close attention to its watering, especially as it comes into flower, and give it a really good mulch at least once or twice a year. So as a result, it's going to be scoring 5 on my 10-star disease resistance rating. But all round, Cardinal de Richelieu is a really, really lovely old Gallica Rose, which I'm really glad to have this very unusual colour in my collection. hardy in zones 5 through 10. You can actually grow this in lower zones, but please make sure that you give it some winter protection. And in zones above 10, unfortunately, it's going to really suffer with the heat and humidity and not perform very well at all. Maintenance wise, once this one has finished flowering, don't be shy to simply take a pair of shears to it and actually knock it back. Give it a little bit of breathing time to produce a little bit of growth before you then prune it as normal during the autumn and winter months. But this is a really lovely old rose. This is Rose Cardinal de Richelieu.